Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Tuesday, the 11th day of December. It's National App Day, and it's National Noodle Ring Day. Do you have a favorite app? Is there like an app on your phone that's like your favorite? I don't have a lot of apps.
Yeah, I don't really have apps. I have the Facebook app, I suppose.
guess that's probably, and I have each one of the social media apps, but I don't know. One of my favorite apps is a thing called Shush. It's like a ringtone app thing that you can turn your ringtone off and then it turns back on. So I guess that's probably my favorite. I don't know. Don't really have a favorite. And Alice Walker is our quote today. She says, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any." So if you don't think you have power, you don't. So I like that. Hey, you know what? We've got a very powerful program for you today. We have Tuesdays with Charlie.
That's my favorite.
I know. That's her dad. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Heidi, tell me, Fort Bend. No, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. River Bend in Fort Wayne, Indiana. River Bend, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Is River Bend a golf course or is it a rehab center?
I'm going to say golf course.
And golf clap for Heidi today. You got another one right.
Yeah, I did.
It really helps when you sneak in and read all my notes. She doesn't
I totally
really.
do, because
She
there's
doesn't
so
cheat.
much writing on it.
I know. This has been Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. Timeforrehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. And this is your brain on drugs. A Texas wedding photographer has been arrested after she allegedly had a little nookie with a guest at the ceremony and then urinated on a tree at the reception. What? 26-year-old Catherine Lee Menta, I don't know if I'm saying that right, charged with public intoxication and obstruction and retaliation. So she was the wedding photographer. The guests found her, she moonlights as a bikini model, found her, having a little interesting time with a guest in a room at the event venue. It says here the wedding party informed an off-duty sheriff deputy who was working security for the ceremony. She was told that her behavior was inappropriate. They allegedly went to the water fountain and began yelling at guests. Anyway, then she went outside and urinated on a tree. That's a bad idea.
All those years of finishing school really paid off.
They found, in addition to the fact that she had been drinking, they found prescription bottle of Alzafrem sold under the trade name of Xanax. Anyway, that was in her pocket. So it was Xanax and alcohol together equals really, really, really bad idea. So don't do that. But that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, Madonna fans have gotten into a social media war with Lady Gaga fans after the Material Girl accused Lady Gaga of stealing one of her lines and using it during her Oscar campaign.
Oh, my gosh.
So, if that is the most important thing that you have going on in your life,
then you've got a pretty good life.
Just saying. If you're a huge fan, so much so that you're like getting in fights with other people.
Wow.
I just don't understand that. And, they should like each other, but apparently not. Jersey Shore star Dina Cortez is expecting a baby boy December the 30th, and she says she can't wait to give birth. So there you go. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, also known as there must not be any major things going on.
I was going to say, I really wasn't too into any of those.
Heidi actually took a nap during that program. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. The first commercial robo-taxi service has started picking up passengers in Arizona. So do you think there's going to be a huge demand for that?
No, probably not.
If you had the choice to ride with a robo-taxi or ride with a person driving a taxi?
I would ride with a person driving a taxi.
Same here. If you had the choice between a robo-taxi and Uber or Lyft or one of those kind of things, would you choose the robo-taxi?
No.
You'd still ride with the person? I think so, too. Apple is slashing the price of the new iPhones amidst struggling sales. So here's, I think, what the problem is. They keep unveiling new,
right.
every couple months,
I would not buy a new one for anything.
Well, and my phone is a brick phone. I had it converted to a smartphone. Just kidding. It's not really. It's not that old. Here's the thing I got to tell you. What is this? You know what these phones are.
Samsung.
I don't know if it's the phone.
Galaxy.
Or if it's the case, but this thing is like indestructible. I've dropped it in the last 2 weeks like 3 times. Not intentionally.
It's got a good case.
Every time as it's falling out of my hands, I'm thinking, oh, this is the one. It's going to crack the screen. I've got a little protector on the screen in the case.
You've got the protector, and you've got a...
I'm not going to throw it on the ground just to test, but it's been good. So I'm pretty darn happy with that. My beautiful bride over here, Heidi, she set me up. Good job, baby.
But it is an older one. It's an
older phone.
S7.
S7. I don't know what it is. Whatever they're up to. What are they up to now? 19? I don't know what they're up to.
9, I think.
Is that what it is? I don't know. I've never, ever needed the latest and greatest of anything. I've never needed, have we ever stood in line to be the first to get something?
No.
Can you imagine me standing in line to get... I don't stand in line at restaurants. I'm just not a line guy. I'm not a big fan this time of year to go shopping. I'm like, I don't want to stand in line to buy something.
I don't mind standing in lines
it's not my thing.
like for Black Friday and at stores and things like that, but I certainly would not go...
Not my thing.
To buy an overpriced phone.
Well,
I stand in lines to save money, not to spend more money.
See, there you go. It's a good way to look at it. Speaking of money, Capital One did a survey. They found that 51% of Americans don't feel listened to by those closest to them.
What?
Apparently that... You talking to me? Huh?
Did you say something?
Capital One found... Why did they do a survey about that?
I don't know.
I had such a great segue. Speaking of finances, this company that does things with finances did a survey that had nothing to do with finances.
Nothing to do with finances.
Capital One survey found 51% of Americans don't feel listened to by those closest to them.
Huh.
I just don't get that. It's a great study, but why were they doing that study? I don't know. New study found that 27% of young people are too overweight to serve in the military. So that's 27% is an alarming rate. Now tell me, what percentage of older people are too overweight to serve in the military? I bet it's more than 27%. Because back when I was that age, when I was, a teen, in my mind, I always thought I was overweight, but I look at pictures of me from back then.
No,
I'm
you
like,
were tiny.
I was like, I wasn't, but I always had like this.
I think everybody kind of has that
mental image of
self-body.
myself.
I was a size 3, and I always thought I was fat. So
I don't know what a size 3 is, but
it's tiny.
I was like size 28.
I would give
pants.
anything to be a size 3.
The two of us as we're eating Oreos.
I just don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, you're gonna finish all the crumbs in the bottom of that. I've got a link to this story if you'd like to know more. It's in the show notes for today. Oh, I'm going to squeeze one more story, and I guess I've got time for this one. Study by the Oxford University found that women with longer fingers are more likely to cheat. What does that have to do with anything? I don't quite understand.
With longer fingers, you wouldn't need to cheat.
Would you just? I knew there was something coming. Thanks for listening. I shouldn't have even gone there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday, just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
How you doing, Charlie?
Well, it must be Tuesday because I'm talking to you.
I know. You don't talk to us any other time. You just avoid our calls. You never chat with us. You don't write.
You don't visit.
You never. Every once in a while we get to see you, and we always appreciate that. How are things going?
Well, there's a reason I don't talk to you.
Why is that?
I don't like you.
As long as you have a reason.
As long as you got a reason. Well, what kind of cool stuff we can learn about today?
Okay, in 2017, a tire shop in Fort Worth, Texas, was robbed so often that the owner bought a guard dog. The next time the shop was robbed, they stole the dog.
Oh, wasn't a very good guard dog then.
Apparently, give him a dog biscuit, and
That's funny.
and they're good, by the way, too.
Dog biscuit. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. You
You're so weird.
sampled those once.
Hey, then did you know that Hooters was founded in April 1st, 1983?
I did not know that.
By a group of 6 businessmen called the Hooters Six. They chose April 1st as a joke because they believed it was going to fail.
Oh,
So they thought if we do this on April 1st, when it fails, we can say, hey, we're just kidding.
Yep.
they must have had money to burn.
Well, I'm glad that they didn't fail because I hate to see people fail, but I know there are some people that are not fans of that particular place.
You know, I've never been in one.
I don't think we
Really?
have either.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Have
I
we?
have. I like Hooters.
I don't think I've ever been there. Oh,
Our daughter has a Hooters T-shirt.
what?
Yeah, we went to the one in the Mall of America one time.
I don't remember any of
Yeah.
this. Was I along for any of that?
Yes.
You'll have to wake me up next time we go on vacation. That'd be nice.
Hey, then there's a restaurant in New York that does not employ chefs.
No chefs?
They employ grandmas.
Grandmothers. Oh, hey, there you go.
Because every day a different grandma from around the world designs her own menu.
Well,
That's
that's
a great idea, actually.
Grandmother cooking in the kitchen. You know what? A good home-cooked meal is usually pretty darn good.
Well, it's probably better than what a chef would do.
Well, you never know.
And imagine what they save on employees because they're independent contractors and you're paying a different person each time. So they don't have payroll taxes. They don't have any of that.
But if they got to bring them from around the world, there's got to be an expense to getting them there.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you don't know a lot of chefs because we might have just you off.
Yeah. Chefs
I don't know any chefs.
throwing down their apron, coming to see us.
The only chefs I know ask if you want fries with that.
I don't believe those are called chefs.
Oh, okay. Let's bring you food. Hey, then, at a Starbucks located inside the Central Intelligence Agency in Virginia, customers' names cannot be called out or written on the cups due to security measures.
Oh, hey, there you go. That makes sense. So do they just like give them a number? Number 6.
Everybody is Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, your order's ready.
We were just at a restaurant, and there were 2 John. My name is John, and there was another guy that was waiting for a table. His name apparently was John. They called out the name John for 2, and I got real excited. And then Heidi goes, our table's under Heidi. I'm like, oh.
You know what I find hard about that story?
What's that?
You being in a restaurant.
Me in a restaurant? And I waited for a table, which is not normal. But the restaurant part, that's pretty normal.
You live in restaurants.
I don't live in them. I just am a big fan of, going out for the finer things in life. And I love restaurants. I don't love them enough to, there's some that are really good. But I'm not a big fan of any restaurant enough to like get a tattoo of them on my arm or anything. So I'm a fan, but I don't think I'm quite obsessed or anything.
That's kind of like somebody's tattoo. You ask them what it says, and I don't know.
Yeah. I know that person. She's laughing right next to me.
Yeah.
She seriously got a tattoo in a different language, and it says, I don't know, in that language. So when people ask her, oh, what does that say? She says, I don't know. I married her.
That's awesome.
She's your daughter, Charlie.
Hey, Fluffy,
What?
you really don't tell people you know me, do you?
I tell everybody I know you.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's how I start my conversations.
Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure to chat. We'll talk next week, right?
We'll do her again.
All right. Talk
Bye,
to you then.
Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Take a listen to this. I think this is interesting. What Americans think HTML means. That
Your
is,
voice just changed in the
it
middle
did
of
in the
this.
middle of this. HTML. You know what that is?
Hotmail?
No. Well then, hypertext markup language.
That's how I would abbreviate Hotmail if I had to.
It's a standard language for creating web pages and web applications. Well, according to a 2014 study, 1 in 9 Americans, that's 11% of the population, thinks HTML is a disease. Oh, no.
I didn't think it was a disease.
You were diagnosed with HTML? It's not a disease, and it's not Hotmail. It's how your websites work. So there you go. Very fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO.
Time now for your grandiloquent word of the day, and it is Minikin. Minikin. What do you think Minikin is? Minikin. Minikin.
I have no idea.
Small or delicate creature is a minikin. An adjective, small or insignificant, also minikin. So our dogs are quite minikin. They're very delicate and tiny. But not compared to, I've seen dogs that are smaller than ours.
Not many.
No, not many, but I've seen them. I remember seeing one that was...
I've seen pictures of them, but I've never seen one in person.
I saw one in person. The dog was so small that I didn't think it could possibly be a real dog. I was like, that has to be a toy. And then the dog barked, and I saw him like moving around where you knew it was a real dog.
You saw him hop in circles and stuff in the middle of the mall?
No.
Is that where he was?
No, those are fake toys. I understand that. He did a somersault, and he barked at me.
Wow, that dog is amazing.
He got
It is so tiny.
right to the edge of the table, but didn't fall off. It was amazing. No. Coming your way, we've got some weird news. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by the Weird Gift of the Day. That is a new Facebook page where every day there's a different weird gift. So I've got a link to it in the show notes. Nobody was around to save Clark Griswold as he dangled from the roof while hanging up Christmas lights from the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But there is a dummy in Texas that has been causing some problems there in Austin. Some people have a dummy hanging from the gutters, and it's a little too realistic. They went through consignment shops. They found the perfect outfit for the dummy that they have nicknamed Clark Griswold Jr.
That's awesome.
It is a flannel button-down vest, a baseball cap, jeans, and some, quote, dad sneakers. Several concerned Good Samaritans saw the dummy hangling from... Hangling?
Hangling? That's a new word. You just made a word up.
Hanging and dangling. It was dangling from the roof. And thinking it was a real person, many people have called 911. So now they actually had to put up a sign letting people know that, hey, this is just a dummy. So don't call 911.
I think that's a great...
That is very
that's
fun.
A great
I've actually
thing.
seen photos
I've seen
of
other
that
people
before.
do that, yeah.
This has been some weird news brought to you by the Weird Gift of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, courtesy of FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Tennessee man faces up to 3 years in prison for urinating on a Kellogg's cereal conveyor belt at the Memphis facility.
Ew,
yeah,
gross.
This is just yuck. News outlets report 49-year-old Gregory Stanton, so let's pause for a second, old enough to know better.
Yeah.
I mean, you're no longer a juvenile at that age. He pled guilty to tampering with consumer products, indicted by a grand jury back in September. He worked at the plant from 2014 through 2016, and that's when a video was posted online of him urinating on a conveyor belt. That led to
disgusting.
The FDA reaching out. It was unclear what prompted him to do this, or what prompted them to film it, or what prompted them to share it. Anyway, workers' unions are involved in a labor dispute at the time, so there might have been something there. Anyway, his sentence is set in February. So
wow.
What a weird thing to do, and that is just yuck. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. At this time, each day, we like to read a story, and we ask Heidi if this is a true story from the great state of Florida, or did we make it up just to trick her?
All right, bring it.
All right. I got the big guns today. Got some people helping me out that are far more smarter than we are.
Far more smarter.
Mm-hmm. And I said that on purpose. All right, tell me, Heidi. Fake news or Florida? A Palm Beach woman was busted for assault after she attacked a crossing guard outside her son's school because it took too long to cross. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Incorrect. This was fake news. I even gave you a hint.
I know, but I thought you were trying to throw me.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah. That would have been a good idea. I have to keep that tactic in mind in the future. No, it wasn't. This is legit. It was fake news. All right, we've got some good news coming your way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news, and we've got so much good news this time of year. It is truly the most wonderful time of the year. Secret Santa pays off $430,000 in Walmart gifts. Turned out to be Tyler Perry.
Yep.
I think Tyler Perry's pretty darn cool. And then that prompted others to do the same kind of thing. And I know there's probably some that we're not going to report because we don't have a list in front of us. But I know it prompted Kid Rock and it prompted Glenn Beck. And I know there have been many others as well. And
I think that's awesome.
I think it is really, really cool. So there are people that are going in and paying off. Now, here's something
and
that
I went right out and put a bunch of stuff on Lightweight just in case.
Did you really?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, I bet there are probably some people who are going to... Did you get your shopping done yet? Not yet, but I'm going to run to the store.
I'm hoping.
So there's a big run on stuff just in case. Hedging my bets here. I think it's such a cool story, and there's so many people doing so many kind things. Now, I saw online where people were saying this would be a really nice thing to do in addition to just paying off stuff like this, but to help people that are behind on house payments, to help people that are behind on car payments, you know.
And if you don't have as much money as some of these people to be able to go in and do something major like that, why not go into the school and find out how many kids are behind on their lunch?
Yeah.
And pay those up and put some money on their account so that they can eat, because there are so many kids that get turned away at the lunch counter, and it's embarrassing for them.
Well, this is such a cool story. I've got a link to it in the show notes. And here's the thing, like Heidi was saying, not all of us can afford to, $430,000.
Right. Yeah.
Tyler Perry, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
Going to go watch Medea a couple of times just because of that. That's really cool.
I probably won't go that far.
I will. It's pretty darn funny. So Tyler Perry, thank you for doing that. Thank you for getting that started. And I know there are other people, so somebody's going to probably reach out and say, oh, you missed this and you missed this. Tag them, please, in our show notes or on our Facebook page, because I would love to be able to do a shout-out to everybody that's doing it. But those are the ones that are in the good news for us today. You can find this in the good news section for today's show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Thank you for spending some time with us right here on the John and Heidi Show.